busting my balls, Billy, okay?
I can already tell that I don't like you.
Fuck you, bust on my ball.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
It might be your first ball job.
Yeah, of course.
How long did it take for the guy to come?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bustin' Balls. I'm your host, Eric Pinnell. OW20 is my squirt. I do man shit, and this is a 100% white-owned podcast. Welcome, everybody. Let's get right into this whole thing. Let's talk about that Rudy Poo-ass Super Bowl that just went down. Congratulations to the champions, the Los Angeles Rams. They fucking stink. I mean, that was a pretty... it was a pretty boring Super Bowl, if you ask me. I mean, it wasn't like, honestly, the Rams didn't do shit until like the last quarter with minutes left with Cooper Kupp. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're a Rams fan, you guys probably thought you guys did excellent. I think the best player on the Rams was the refs, because that was bullshit. And although you can say that Cincinnati Bengals touchdown with T. Higgins was bullshit, they should have called it. But you don't fucking double down with bad calls. I mean, if anything, that's an argument that these refs were just horrible for this Super Bowl, that they didn't call the T. Higgins thing. That, first of all, that number 55, the Cincinnati Bengals linebacker in the middle there when the Rams were down there in the red zone, that was not a call. Okay? I won't talk this very long because I know there's some people that don't even listen to football, especially people out of the country and stuff that don't listen to American football. But that was some bullshit-ass calls. And anybody's seen that coming a mile away. They built that, I think that Rams stadium is like $2.5 billion stadium. I for some reason, I want to say it's like $4 billion. But... it's a giant stadium. That stadium was so expensive. That's why they had to have two teams go to Los Angeles. Remember when everybody was like, what, the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers, and the St. Louis Rams are going to L.A.? Duh. They had to have so many ticket sales, and they had to double down on hoping that, one of these teams would take off and that they could pay for that stadium. And then people go, well, L.A. has so many people live in L.A., man, that you could have two teams. Yeah, I guess. But they needed somebody to pay for that stadium. And they needed to, California needed a win. I'm talking California, the state in general, because they've lost everything. They've lost all these companies like Tesla and all these fucking people that left that fucking state. It's a beautiful state, but it is ran like a shithole, okay? And that ain't going out on a limb. I don't know if you've been to L.A. or San Francisco or any of that fucking part of that state where it's heavily populated. It is fucking dirty. And there's too many goddamn people, and I know people go, well, there's a reason why there's too many people. Hey, fuck you. Everybody's there for the fucking, either the industry that was there and is still there, I guess, and they're there for the sunshine. I mean, every time I was watching something the other night where I seen L.A. I was watching Hey Ladies, that fucking funny show that was on HBO that only did like a season. It's in L.A., and you see the weather and you want to move to LA, like California. When I see the weather, I want to move there, but it's ran by a bunch of fucking commie fucks that want to turn that state socialist. And also, you move there, and guess what? You're gonna have homeless people sleeping on your fucking front steps, and they won't do anything about it. They won't do anything about it. But so that state needed a win, and you don't think that they weren't going to give that fucking city a win? Let me guess. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, Little Cincinnati in Ohio, against the L.A. Rams that just built a new stadium so many years ago, and that team just moved there. You don't think they were going to give them a win? Dude, L.A. looked real neutered. They didn't dominate that game. I know. Look, you could say Odell Beckham got hurt, and if Odell wouldn't have got hurt, that it would have looked much different. Yeah, it would have maybe, but it didn't because he got fucking hurt, okay? And they looked real neutered, man. Real neutered. And I tell you what, those calls at the end of the game were bullshit. Yeah, Eli Apple, that was a bad call. I mean, he did that. That was a call they should have called, but they ain't calling nothing all game. And then right when it gets down to where it's like, hey, we got to have L.A. win this, boom, start doing calls. It's fucking WWE. I felt like I was watching WWE like a motherfucker and watching that. But, congratulations, Rams. Go fuck yourself. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Matthew Stafford besides a couple fucking Lions fans and some people that live in fucking L.A. that they think that he's the shit. He looked real fucking mediocre, too. Honestly, Matthew Stafford in the Super Bowl looked like Kirk Cousins. Like he just looked like, which that's like a reference of like he's average. He didn't look that fucking great. It wasn't that spectacular of a Super Bowl. But let's move on. I want to move on. I want to talk to this right here, which is this where we're at now, where Kim Kardashian unfollows Kanye West on Instagram. Like That's Kim Kardashian follows Kanye West on Instagram after Pete Davidson attacks. Oh my God, is that what it is? Oh, God forbid. The Skims founder unfollows estranged husband Kanye West on Instagram Thursday amid all of his tirades about her, their family, and her current beau, Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson must lick pussy like a fucking... I mean, dude, this guy must have a dick or something. I don't know what it is. I mean, he's like the Tommy Lee of like now or something like that. I mean, how does Pete Davidson get all this pussy? I don't understand it. Which honestly, Kim Kardashian at this point is just like an old broad, and I know people go, no, it's still Kim Kardashian. You'd hit it. I mean, not really. I mean, she's been ran through, dude. And guess what? Kim Kardashian, dude, I don't know, man. You seen those pictures. Remember, I don't know if you ever seen those pictures like so many years ago where like paparazzi were, or is that how you say it? Paparazzi? They caught her in like some beach and it showed all her fucking cellulite because all her pictures are always airbrushed. She has these deals with these fucking LA paparazzi and how, they manipulate what pictures get out, and you seen her backside. It just looked like she fucking was running away from a fucking a shotgun or something like that. I mean, it's not like she's fucking, come on, you get her naked, and again, most people ain't gonna kick her out of the bed. I get it and stuff like that, but hey, Kanye could do whatever the fuck he wants to do. He could do whatever he wants to do, man. I mean, you know what? If your old lady's fucking with him, fucking with you, with your kids and stuff like that, like, dude, I'm a couple podcasts back, a few podcasts back, where one of Kanye's kids were having a birthday party, and Kim Kardashian and her whole family weren't telling him where the fucking kid's birthday party's at. That's the bullshit right there. And I'm glad Kanye West puts that shit on blast, where it's like moms are doing that to fucking dads. Where I get it, where most people go, we'll just have 2 birthday parties. It don't need to go down like that. We don't need to do 2 fucking birthday parties. How about we just do 1 birthday party and act like a couple fucking adults? And another thing is Kim Kardashian, she's probably trying to get away from this dude. It's probably a fucking nightmare because it's she controls everything. She doesn't want anything bad to go down out there and stuff like that. She wants to control the narrative like they have, and Kanye West is the wrong one to fucking do that to. I want to talk about this right here. There's a report that just came out that Joe Rogan's controversial deal with Spotify. I don't understand how it's a controversial deal. Like, why are they headlining it that way, or it's a controversial deal? It was not a controversial deal. I don't know what you're talking about, these fucking people that write up these goddamn articles and stuff like that. But Joe Rogan's controversial deal with Spotify is worth $200 million, twice what was reported. And so, which is pretty amazing that this guy... And it's worth every dime, whether you like Joe Rogan or not. I don't listen to every Rogan episode anymore. Not that I don't like it. I don't got the fucking time, man. And there's also, they're listening to this podcast. There's so many podcasts out there that you got to pick and choose, like what you want to get into or what vibe. I mean, podcasts are a lot like... It's a lot like music. It's like, what vibe you're in, where it's like, dude, I'm not in the mood to listen to that type of shit or that type of shit. Not saying that Rogan, Rogan's the every type of shit. I mean, you can listen to any Rogan episode and it's still great. But yeah, man, I mean, it's not a surprise this guy's, made a deal with them for fucking $200 million. I mean, he's worth every deal. I mean, every fucking penny of that deal. Although they're trying to get him kicked off. You know what, dude? You know what's so funny? And it's not like I'm the original one to say this, but nobody gives a fuck when these people go on CNN and all these liberal fucking TV, mainstream media shows, and they do misinformation. They've done misinformation forever. Russia, right? Where it's, Trump was pissing on somebody in fucking Russia. Trump was in bed with, he was Putin's bitch. They did that shit for years and years and years. The fucking Mueller report for like a fucking year, and the guy came up with nothing. And nobody complains about that and wants to get those people banned off CNN. Nobody ever does that from the other side. It's just the other side that wants the people that want to get guys like Rogan and everybody censored off and taken off. Those are the little bitches that want to do shit like that, and they care to get people taken off. But the other side, they don't give a fuck. Go on there. There's a reason why you guys have shitty ratings. There was I just seen fucking like a ratings report. Dude, CNN's like primetime. They get like 800,000 views, like on average. 800,000. They're not even cracking 1 million views on like their main like primetime episodes. I think Rachel Maddow gets like maybe like 1 point something, maybe 2 million, something like that. You know, no, it's like 1 point something, like 1.2. Tucker Carlson gets like 3 point something million, which is high for like mainstream media type stuff. Joe Rogan, on average, they say he gets 11 million views on average or downloads on Spotify. 11 million. This guy's crushing the next competition, like even Tucker Carlson, by like 4 times almost. I mean, he's crushing it by 4 times the amount of viewers. And unlike regular television, you could just go on regular TV and hit the power button and switch the channel to that. And I know it's easy to do things. You got to go on a fucking app and go find just Rogan. He ain't on like regular TV. He ain't on regular TV. You got to like download Spotify, go on Spotify, find his episode, look for it and stuff, which is very easy also. I mean, I get it. But could you imagine if Rogan was on like some kind of, like a TV channel? Also, how many views he would get? I mean, I know that's a dumb way of looking at it, but just think about that. How many people don't download Spotify? You could still talk to people right now and say, have you ever heard of Joe Rogan? And there's a lot of people that never even heard of Joe Rogan, or they've heard of him and they never watched his episode. So you're telling me if you put him on some kind of like cable channel where it's like, no, this channel right here only does Joe Rogan podcast, how many fucking views would that show have? Seriously. Way more than 11 million. And guess what? People are going, they're going towards Rogan. It's easy to watch shit that's on TV. You're just flipping channels, going up and down a button. I mean, people are actually going to listen to Rogan. So anyways, I'll get the fuck off that, I want to talk about this right here, man. Chicago has a story right here. A high-level police officer car stopped in West Side drug bust, which is a fucked up headline that they did that because it looks like it was her car, but it says an internal affairs chief, Yolanda Talley's niece. And sorry, I said Yolanda. I mean, but that's how you say Yolanda. What do you want me to do? Yolanda? How can I white it up so it doesn't sound like I'm being fucking Miss Parker, may I call you Yolanda? Yolanda Talley, niece, was driving. So it's internal affairs chief Yolanda Talley's niece was driving a Lexus, pulled over in a drug arrest that netted 42 grams of heroin. So what the fuck is she doing that? I mean, who's buying 42 grams of heroin? I don't know how much 42 grams of heroin is, but that sounds like a decent number. And it don't sound like that's somebody that's going home to shoot up. I mean, unless you're Nikki Sixx and you're buying a month's worth or something like that. According to the source and court records, the matter has been referred to as the city's inspector general. Yeah, fucking right. Okay, nothing's going to fucking happen. Although, this could be her niece was driving her fucking car and this lady has nothing to do with it, which I'm sure she doesn't. And maybe it's just egg on her face. But guess what? I bet we're going to look up on that story within another 6-7 months. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's gonna fucking happen at all. At all, dude. At all. And, whatever, man. Did you guys watch Heather McDonald fucking faint on stage? That was like the best. Wasn't that the best, that fucking cunt? Sorry, Heather. I don't know you, bitch. I don't care. I don't really care. You're fucking hot shit, right? And you fucking fainted on stage, which anybody could do that. That sucks. I mean, I knew the bitch was going down. Because you could hear it in her voice. If you watch that video again, comedian Heather McDonald, when she fainted on Heather McDonald fainted on stage, you could hear it in her voice. I knew something was going to happen. I knew at first I'm like, is she having a panic attack or something like that? Because you get winded. Usually when you're like panicking and stuff, and you're having a panic attack or you're bombing, oh my God! I tell you what, that is the one thing. When you're bombing on stage, just like a comedian or anybody that's doing public speaking, the one thing that fucks you is your wind. For some reason, I don't know what that is. Your body knows that, hey, this is going bad, and your wind gets fucked up, and you have less and less breath. So once you heard that in her voice, and then boom, she went down. And again, whatever, lady. I mean, good luck. You're still going to be fine. She's going to be fine. She's going to go on some shows and laugh about it, and I don't know what happened. My blood sugar, blah, 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 blah. And then, whatever's going to happen, and then the, left-wing fucking, people are going to pat her on the head and go, you're a strong woman. You're a strong woman. You know what's fucked up? My wife keeps showing me. What happened to Bob Saget? What the fuck happened to Bob Saget? Did somebody crack him in the head with a fucking bat or something like that in his hotel room and he went down? Because if you see the autopsy reports, autopsy reports or whatever, that they're saying that it's the blows to his head were, like somebody hit him with a bat type. I don't know the words, but that's what it sounded like. And who knows? Maybe he slipped in a hotel bathroom and cracked his head, and then he went to sleep or went to get in bed and he died. But the thing is, it sucks around death all the time. People try to build the shit up more than what it's worth. Who knows what the fuck happened? He could have. Who knows? Every time these stars die, they always do the same moves. The internet. For some reason, they were either a child molester, they were gay, or they were gay in the closet, or there's something else bad about them. It's because they can't defend themselves. It's the same thing with like Michael Jackson. Like all those years they said Michael Jackson was fucking those kids. And whether you believe he was fucking those kids or not, I don't know. Like I always say, man, Michael Jackson didn't fuck those kids. He made love to them. There's a big difference, okay? There's a lot more kissing involved. But listen, I don't know if Michael Jackson fucked those kids. I mean, they tried to get him in court. They didn't get him then. First of all, would a guilty guy, I mean, yeah, maybe. Remember when Michael Jackson, he was going to court for like child molesting or something like that? And then there's so many people outside the courthouse that this motherfucker's coming into the courthouse and he jumps up on that car and he does the, oh, and I'm like, this motherfucker ain't guilty. Because somebody that's like that's guilty and they're going to court, and nobody's jumping up on a fucking car and just like doing a little dance move and piecing people out and going into a court. That's how I knew he wasn't guilty, or he knew he wasn't going to be guilty maybe. But in my mind, I'm like, this dude ain't gonna get him. They got nothing on him. And he probably knew that, like, look, they're just trying to take my money, which, dude, Michael Jackson, breaking news, the motherfucker had a lot of money. I mean, dude, the guy had stacks of fucking dough. And anytime you have stacks of dough, hence the Houston Texans quarterback, Deshaun Watson, that motherfucker was making $34 million a year. Everybody knew it. That's why he has 37 massage therapists said that they had to beat him off at his house and they want some money, whether you believe it or not. That's why when you have money, motherfuckers come out of the woodwork. Shit, motherfuckers come out of the woodwork when you barely got money. If they even smell it on you, they think you got money and shit like that. But whatever, man. Whatever. Let's keep it moving here. I seen that Snoop Dogg now owns Death Row, but I think, did you see that Snoop Dogg owns Death Row now or something like that, which makes sense. Which, who knew? I mean, who even knew that? Like, I guess he bought it from BlackRock, and I could get my information wrong. If you know the information and I'm saying it wrong, go fuck yourself. Again, I'll read a paragraph and a half of a fucking story and I move on. I'm not writing a book on it, okay? So some reason, I think he got it from BlackRock, which BlackRock owns fucking everything. If you haven't looked them up, they're buying up the whole fucking world, and that's a whole conspiracy of all the trillions of fucking assets that they own. And so he owns Death Row, but he does not. I think he doesn't own the masters. Snoop Dogg at this point does not own the masters. So all the catalog of Death Row, all that shit, I don't think he owns that. He owns, I think, it moving forward. I think he owns the trademark. He owns like the name and stuff like that. Which, I mean, come on. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's enough right now, and I'm sure he'll get his hands on the masters for a lot of money. I mean, dude, that Death Row catalog was ridiculous, man. I mean, Death Row's catalog, I mean, shit, man. They did that Murder Was the Case soundtrack. That was fucking ridiculous. I mean, fuck it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if, I mean, is the Chronic, the first Chronic album still on Death Row? I would assume, right? I mean, it has to be on there unless Dre took it over. But I mean, fucking Snoop Dogg's album's on there. But again, he doesn't got the catalog. But, I mean, but dude, that fucking catalog is ridiculous. Yeah, so the Chronic was on there, the fucking Doggy Style. I would assume, is All Eyes on Me on there? I would assume All Eyes on Me is fucking on there. That's, dude, you want to talk about a fucking, my God. I would assume some of those Nate Dogg albums are on there. I mean, maybe not. I mean, is Nate Dogg's albums on there? I'm just looking through all the Above the Rim soundtrack. Murder Was the Case, the Dog Pound, the fucking Dog Pound album. I still love that fucking Dog Pound album. That was honestly, I don't even know if I always thought the Dog Pound was not under them. Not Daz and Corrupt, of course, but I thought I heard Daz one time say that that Dog Food album was on something else. Machiavelli, The Dog Father, which I didn't think that was a good fucking album. That was Snoop's second album. They did a Christmas on Death Row. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Nate Dogg G-Funk Classics, The Lady of Rage, Daz Dillinger had something on there. Tupac's Greatest Hits, Michelet. Yeah, dude. Tupac and the Outlaws. I mean, dude, there's nothing but how much is that catalog worth? I mean, I just keep naming it, so I do apologize. I could go on for fucking, but how much is that catalog worth? I mean, I would assume if you wanted that catalog, that's got to be worth like $200 million or something like that, right? I mean, because you're expecting on like future money that you're going to make off it, and the fact that Death Row actually got fucked up like that is a damn shame. That just shows you how bad they were running it and how fucking stupid Suge Knight is for doing that and how they ruined that. They could have been like the Motown for fucking the next 25 years and shit like that. I mean, 30 years, 40 years. I mean, they had all everybody on the West Coast would have wanted to be at Death Row if they would have kept a clean house and they wouldn't have done that shit. All those stories of Death Row where they're beating up acts and shit if they didn't like what they were saying and stuff, and all the intimidation and just fucking the criminal bullshit that was surrounded around Death Row. It's like, you guys are fucking stupid. So hopefully Snoop will be able to do something with that. And most likely he's going to, take the merchandise to a higher level. And he's gonna merchandise the fuck out of that. Hopefully he pays the past acts correctly if they do use their merchandise and stuff like that, which I assume they will, or he will. But you never know. Dude, you hear. They fuck Snoop. I've seen interviews of recently with Snoop on podcasts where Death Row, everybody knows those stories about like how like Snoop was getting like cars, like Suge Knight would give him a car, and then Snoop got pulled over in that car and comes to find out it wasn't even registered to Snoop because he was just a kid and didn't know shit, and that car wasn't registered to him. It was still registered to Suge. So he's basically just driving around Suge's car, and that ain't his car. If he wanted to sell that car or that's his car, it ain't his car. So it's almost like a company car. It's and just getting fucked. And again, that proves to you right there that how they're like, oh, it's the white man taking advantage. Like anybody that has those type of narratives where it's like, oh, it's the white man taking advantage of the black man type narratives, which I'm not trying to go there, but I mean that is a conversation sometimes. Guess what? The most people that usually fuck us are the ones that look like us, and I'm talking skin color, the ones that think that they're like us and stuff, because you got your guard down. You think you're part of your people. You think that they would not do that. Guess what? They will fucking do that. And anyways, man, I should have brought this up also before when I was talking about it, but I just seen this in my notes. Did you know the average ticket price for that fucking Super Bowl that just went down in L.A. was $8,772. $8,700. I don't know if that number was after scalpers, but I don't think so. They said they had tickets as low as like I think $500, but I don't think that's going to go down that way. I mean, if you bought a ticket for $500, you can get $8,700 for it and scalping it. Why would you not fucking do that? Excuse me, I got a burp going on there. And but $8,700. And can you imagine two fucking people going to the fucking Super Bowl and you're spending fucking, $19,000, almost $20,000 with you and your fucking buddy or you and your old lady and shit like that. And then you got to pay for the flight maybe if you're not from there in a hotel for a fucking football game. And then to watch these fucking guys play. And then again, they go, oh, this is a racist organization. Yeah, guess what? You guys keep saying racist organization. I guarantee you that there's white people that fucking flew to the Super Bowl and spent 20 fucking grand, him and his old lady or him and his buddy, white people, to go watch black guys play, and it had nothing to do with racism. They're wearing your fucking jersey, bud, and you're trying to claim that it's a fucking plantation bullshit like fucking the Miami coach was saying and fucking Colin Kaepernick. You losers. Just like fucking you know what I want to talk about? Some fucking losers. That fucking Justin Trudeau up in Canada. What a pussy that guy is. Now you're getting me started, dude. Did you see Elon Musk fucking tweeted he compared him, Justin Trudeau, to fucking Hitler? And then all the left lose their mind. That's why they're coming after Elon. Elon Musk is the fucking man. First of all, Elon Musk took on the car industry. He took on the car industry and he beat their ass. I mean, he created a fucking electric car, which nobody would have thought would have worked and nobody's going to buy. And he fucking dominates the industry and ate their lunch. And they don't like that. He created enemies. That's why they're trying to fucking always attack him. That's why when he left California, it was like a spit in their face because that fucking liberal state, how he left, and that's like a bad headline and stuff. And they look at him like he's a bad guy. It's like he's a bad guy. He's fucking creating jobs in your fucking state, you dumb cunts. And you're just got your hand constantly in his pocket and you're trying to fuck his money up with this whole COVID thing where you're fucking locking down the state over some dumb shit. And so, yeah, they're attacking him. And this guy said this shit about Trudeau, which is their little pet project. He's so cute looking, you know? And this fucking thing with the truck drivers up in Canada, that's why I bring this up, man. Those truck drivers in Canada have done more for the world on protesting than any organization has done. These guys did it the right way. You know, when you talk about Black Lives Matter and how well they you know, because Black Lives Matter, they made some moves, but you look what they done, right? Did you see what Black Lives Matter done? How there's like fucking tons of millions of dollars missing and everybody's trying to run from that organization because it wasn't ran very well and there's some shadiness going on and they're going to pop Black Lives Matter back out. You watch, there'll be somebody credible that's going to run Black Lives Matter like fucking Kaepernick or something like that, and that shit's going to be around for 40 years fucking giving white people guilt. And but dude, those truckers have done it the right way. And what is fucking Canada and them trying to do? They're fucking going after their bank accounts. They're going after saying we're going to take away your trucker's license. We're going after people are donating them money through crypto because it's blockchain, and now they're trying to block all that and stuff like that. You want to talk? That's why he says they're like Hitler. These guys are fucking horrible. This is blue collar workers up there. You know, these are blue collar workers that all these liberals always say that they're down for. You ain't down for them. It's all lip service. These are the most blue collar motherfuckers that are in the world. They're moving around all our products that we're buying on the shelves, and you guys are spitting in their fucking face, and you're not backing them. These politicians, if they were smart in Canada, they would go out there and say, look, we're with you. We're with you. Let's talk. What do you want? Okay, that's what you want? Let's put it to vote. Why don't they ever put shit to vote? Like, why don't they ever do that, where they go, well, you got to wait till November of 2022 or something like that? No. How about fuck that? How about if there's something serious going on, let's fucking vote right now. We're going to fucking, in like a week, 2 weeks from now, let's spread the word. It's going to be the most word we spread ever. And in 2 weeks from now, let's vote on, are we going to close the economy or not? Are we going to wear masks or not? Are we going to do this or not? And we fucking vote for it, and then that's it. But, dude, what they're doing, and the world's got their eyes on those truckers right now and how they're going to handle this shit. And, that Justin Trudeau, man, that guy better fucking... Every meal he eats for probably the rest of his life, he better have somebody taste that food before he fucking eats it, because he's got some enemies, definitely. He's definitely got some enemies, man, and I would not want to be that fucking pretty boy. And, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Bustin' Balls podcast over the years. Thank you so much. Hope everything's going well in your world. Hope you're grabbing ass. Hope you're getting money. Hope you're putting nipples in your mouth. And hope you're smoking a little weed. Hope you're having little drinks. I had a Moscow Mule last night that I made at the house, man. I could not sleep all night last night. I don't know if the fucking Tito's kept me up or it's the fucking ginger beer. I was fucking tossing and turning all night. I go, what the fuck? Anyways, that's right, man. White Owned Podcast. Hope you got nipples in your mouth, and hope you're getting money and laughing. And, guys, if you like the podcast, please share it. If you don't like the podcast, go fuck yourself. You shouldn't listen this long. It's the end of the fucking podcast and you don't like the podcast. Fucking beat it. All right, guys. Love you so much, and thanks for listening, guys. Bustin' Balls Podcast.